What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to talk about starter decks because the official website has gone and been updated for the One Piece TCG, and it has gone and confirmed a bunch of stuff about the starter decks. I told you that in terms of the free captain starter deck, the one we've been talking about lately, that this was not official until it actually went up on the website and we got some information about it. Well, it has now gone up on the website and we have some information about it. Now, as is standard, unfortunately, for these One Piece products, we've not got a proper release date. We've got a month. It's coming out in November. Yes, I would like, honestly, a full release date as well. That would make me very happy indeed. Unfortunately, that's not the way it works. They don't tend to do this. We've got a release month of November, and you know what? That's all right. That is what we were expecting. Now, it is called Ultimate Deck, the Free Captain, Starter Deck 10, and it is retailing for $30. Now, we didn't know the price before, but this is what we should have been expecting. Because, of course, we knew that in Japan it was 3 times the price of a regular starter deck. And we knew that starter decks over here were kind of like $10, $12. So $30, honestly, it's about what we should have expected. This is about the price we were looking for. Yes, for a starter deck, this is very, very expensive. No arguments here. This is considerably more expensive than your average starter deck. And all I can really tell you about that is, yeah, it's a fancy starter deck, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. It was over in Japan. It's going to be over here. But it is, from everything we've seen, it looks like it's going to be worth it. Now, I can't guarantee for certain, but it really does look like it is going to be a starter deck that is actually going to be worth the money. And look, as always, if you really don't want to pick it up, if it seems too expensive, don't. You get 3 leader cards, 4 super rares, 11 common, and 1 rare. Now, in Japan, we've been told it's a full foil deck. That is not confirmed on the website here. We think it's going to be a full foil deck, but as always, do just please bear that in mind. We are told, here comes a powerful pre-constructed deck themed about the 3 captains of the worst generation. It is a new multicolor leader, is also the first to combine red and purple. So 3 leaders, all of which are red and purple. And of course, it's not been very long at all since I showed you those 3 leaders, the Luffy, the Kaido, and the Kid. Now, this actually gives me a nice little opportunity to address one of the comments I got in response to that video. You see, when I showed you Luffy, I gave you the translation for Luffy. I told you I'd done it myself, but checked with somebody who posted on Facebook. Well, the lovely Orange Samurai D has now also gone and posted translations of this card, and it is exactly as I said they were before. This seems to be right, and I feel very confident about my Luffy translation. To be clear, I feel very good about my Luffy translation. Luffy is activate main once per turn if you have 0 Don on board, or if you have 8 or more Don on board, you can add a Don from your Don deck as active. Some people have suggested that it is if you have 0 active Don. That is not what the card says. The translation, it only actually says active right at the end where it says add up to 1 active Don. That's what it says right at the end there. At the start, it says your field's Don if 0, or if it's 8, then you add a Don from your Don deck. It does not say active at any point there. It is not if you have 0 active Don, it's if you have 0 Don. Now, the other leaders here, we've got, actually, I should mention, we said this yesterday, but just very quickly, 6,000 power is very high and free life is extremely low. Kid is your 5,000 power 5 life, which is unusual because it's a dual color leader that can attack, should have 4 life. But it says if you got 4 or more life, you get minus 1,000 power. But when attacking Don -1, you gain 2,000 power for this turn, which is pretty gosh darn good. And then you've got Trafalgar Law, which is activate main once per turn, Don -3. Return one of your opponent's characters with 3,000 power or less to the bottom of their deck. and then play a 4-cost or lower character from your hand. Some people have suggested to me that this is way more exciting than I gave it credit for. Maybe it is. I think there is a huge amount of potential in this card, and I did say as much in my video yesterday. However, I don't think at the moment this is some kind of like out-and-out stunning broken card out of the box. However, I have absolutely no problem being proven wrong. Now that's one of the things we were shown, but we were also shown Starter Deck 8 featuring Luffy. Obviously this has been out in Japan for a little while now. Well, it has now been confirmed to be coming in August in English, and as is generally the case, we've got ourselves a lovely look at the box as well, which is nice. Now, it is confirmed for release in August for $12, which is about standard. And it's going to be your usual thing. You get 51 cards in a deck, 10 Don cards, and then it's 1 leader, 2 super rare, 12 common. This is extremely standard. This is exactly what we generally would expect to see from an English starter deck. And obviously, we have seen this starter deck already be released in Japanese, so it kind of makes perfect sense, honestly. This is everything we should be expecting, but it's cool that it's coming. The official blurb says, for the first time, starter decks themed around a character are here. I suppose that's technically true, because of course the others are always themed around kind of a group or something, but I think it's a bit of a stretch. The new leader for this one is Luffy, and this deck lets you take control and attack while also aiming the attack, which is pretty cool, honestly. Now, this is Starter Deck 8, and like I say, the fact that it's already been released over in Japan means that we have a little bit of information about it. We know that the leader is Luffy, but more than that, we can see the Luffy leader. 5,000 power, 5 life, mono black leader. And what we've got here is, on your turn, when a character is KO'd, give up to 1 rested Dom to this leader. I like it. Now, what's really important about Monkey D. Luffy here is if you go and have a look, especially at the Japanese version of the card, it doesn't say once per turn. That part of the card where it would usually say once per turn in that little coloured bubble, it's not there. It doesn't say once per turn. It says on your turn, when a character is KO'd, give up to 1 rested Don to this leader. And that means it can be activated multiple times during your turn. That's a very, very good thing indeed. We like this. You could potentially get lots of rested Dons sitting on here very, very quickly, and that is awesome. Oh, also, just for anyone that's wondering, the Japanese text says, if a character is KO'd. That's it. It doesn't say your character. It doesn't say one of your opponent's characters. It just says a character is KO'd. That's kind of awesome. Now, in terms of super rares, we've got Shanks that on play lets you trash a card from your hand and KO all characters of a cost of 1 or less. But bear in mind, a lot of the real hook of black cards up to now has been reducing cost. So that can be a bit of a board wipe. That's awesome. And the other super rare we've got here is Uta. This character cannot be KO'd by battling against a leader. And Activate Main lets you rest this card and give up to one of your opponent's characters -2 cost during this turn. Which, of course, like I say, fits very nicely with what we just saw a moment ago with Shanks, which is kind of cool. There is also a Nefertari Vivi that's got a blocker and a trigger that lets you play it for free. I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but I am personally quite a fan of being able to play a card for free that also has blocker. That just seems good to me. Just putting that out there, that seems good to me. And obviously, if Starter Deck 8 with Luffy has gone and been revealed, then it only makes sense that Starter Deck 9 with Yamato has also gone and been revealed, which is lovely. Now we get to see them both. Now, the information is exactly the same, other than, I suppose, the name of the deck, and that is to say, coming out in August, costing $12, 1 leader, 2 super rare, 12 common, everything exactly as we would expect. They are coming out very much as a pair, and they fit very much as a pair, which is kind of cool. We like this. Go team, and all of that good stuff. Now, there is, as we might expect, an official description coming in for this one as well, and what it says is, for the first time, starter decks themed around a character are here. Yeah, they said that last time. The new leader for this one is Yamato, and is a defensive deck, letting you solidly stop enemy attacks. Cool, I suppose. Sounds good. I mean, I'm more of an aggressive player, to be honest with you, but it's always nice to have some other options. Now, we do have a bunch of cards we can look at from here as well, because again, this deck has been out in Japan for a little while now, and that means that we know all of the cards. So the leader here is Yamato, and Don -1 on your opponent's turn. While your life area has 2 or less cards, you gain 1,000 power. But of course, in the same way that black try and lower cost, yellow try and, well, they manipulate their life, so this is not going to be the hardest thing to pull off. In terms of super rares, we have ourselves a Kozuki Oden. Don X1, it gains double attack, and on KO lets you trash 2 cards from your hand and add a card from the top of your deck to the top of your life. Double attack, and it recovers when KO'd is kind of nuts. There's also a Port Gusty Ace. Once per turn, if this character would be KO'd, you can trash a card from the top or bottom of your life area instead. Keep a 7,000 power attacker on the board. That sounds pretty gosh darn good to me. So yeah, these are fun decks. These are decks I'm pretty excited about. They are ones I am definitely going to be picking up, all 3 of them. But now it's over to you guys. I want to know what you think about this. I want to know how excited you are. I want to know anything you want to tell me. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.